Hey guys, Future Go on SSJ2 here. A couple people have asked me what a couple of my favorite Cartoon Network cartoons are, and so I decided to do a top 5. I would have done a top 10, but that would have just been even harder. I mean, top 5 was hard because, don't get me wrong, no matter what comes into my top 5, I love every single Cartoon Network cartoon, no matter what, okay? I love every single one of them except for the new ones. You guys know what I mean. But anyway, coming in at number 5, Codename Kids Next Door. Alright, anybody who knows this series knows it's one of the best. This is probably by far the best children's cartoon out there, basically. For those of you who for some reason wouldn't know what it was, all it basically is kids fighting adult tyranny. Kids under the age of 13 fighting teenagers and adults from basically taking over children's freedom, basically. It's a really fun and enjoyable series, and it's sad that they ended it. They didn't just cut it off, but they had an actual ending and everything. Last episode, but it's just sad that they ended it. But yeah, that was a great show. On to number 4 is The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. This show is hilariously funny, okay? And some people don't like it because it's not their type of comedy, but for those people who like comedy such as Family Guy, where it's incredibly stupid, but it's so stupid that you find it funny. That's the type of comedy that they're offering. That's the kind of comedy that they're offering in Billy and Mandy, and that's the comedy I like. I love random stupid comedy. That's why I like Bo 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 Bo. I mean, that show is that anime is so retarded, so random that I can't help but just start bursting out in laughter. And that's what you're going to get from Billy and Mandy. For those of you who don't know the story of the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, the Grim Reaper loses a game against Billy and Mandy, two little kids. They were fighting for the life of Billy's hamster, and he lost, so he vowed to be Billy and Mandy's best friend forever and ever and ever. And that's basically just different adventures that they have. It's just an outstanding show. Coming in at number 3 is Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. I simply love this show. This is a show that they still haven't ended yet, but they basically canceled it. I read up somewhere where it was the ending of Chowder, where C.H. Greenblatt, he wrote something, and I listened to it. It said Cartoon Network doesn't cancel shows. They don't cancel shows, but what's wrong there is that they just don't renew them. They don't cancel shows at all. So the shows that have gone off, it's not because they canceled them. It's because that they didn't renew them. Because he said Cartoon Network doesn't cancel shows at all. He just doesn't want to. They just don't want to renew them. But the last episode of Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends was, if any of you guys can remember, the superhero episode where Madam Foster and Mac were if you guys remember, the little Batman theme going on in the background, because Madam Foster would go like Fosters, something like that, something really stupid and childish. But it's for anyone who doesn't really know this show, basically, in this world, imaginary friends, how little kids, a lot of times when they're feeling lonely, they make their own invisible imaginary friend. Well, basically, in this world, their imaginary friends come to life, and Mac, the main character, a little boy, his mom thinks that he's become too old for his imaginary friend, Blue. And so he has to drop him off at a foster. It's called Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. And normally he would have to be put up for adoption, but he made a deal with Madame Foster to if Mac came and visited Blue every single day, they wouldn't sell him. So that's basically what's going on throughout the series, and it's a fantastic series that they could still renew any day now and just start doing more episodes, which would be easy. Coming in at number 2 is the Powerpuff Girls. Okay, this show is freaking awesome. It's I wouldn't even like, a lot of people are actually saying, oh, Powerpuff Girls, it's a girls' cartoon. No, if you actually sit there and watch a lot of episodes of the Powerpuff Girls, guy, girl, whatever, you will instantly fall in love with this series. Instantly. Because this series is simply amazing. From storytelling to comedy to action, it's simply amazing. Because what's funny is that people, like a lot of guys, they make fun of other guys for watching the Powerpuff Girls, but then again, they'll go on, watch Sailor Moon. Yeah, it's all of a sudden okay. No, because it's basically the same thing, except Powerpuff Girls is just a more kid version. But I really love the comedy. I really love the action of the Powerpuff Girls. It's simply an amazing show. They did have an ending for it. Yeah, but the ending was kind of stupid. It was like the Powerpuff Girls Rule movie. It was stupid. I know I said this in another video, but basically, Mojo Jojo turns out he wasn't bad at all, and he gets the key to the mayor. He gets the key to the city to become mayor, and a lot of people think he's gonna rule it, but it turns out he wasn't evil ever. He was just trying to become mayor so he could get rid of all the crime and everything. And then turns out, everyone still thought he was good. The Powerpuff Girls still didn't really trust him, but they apologized and everything. And then at the very end, he got so bored, he took out his blasters and started blowing everything up again. And that's how it ended, with the Powerpuff Girls beating him up. And I really think that was a terrible ending. I think it was awful. I think Mojo Jojo still should have been evil, because that's stupid to have throughout the entire series have a character be evil, doing tons of evil things, stealing things, trying to destroy the city. And then in the last episode, somehow all of that was for good? That doesn't make any sense. But for those of you who don't know what the Powerpuff Girls is, what it's about, a single professor who has never had children before, or I don't know if he's had a wife, or I think he might have had one wife, but then they got divorced or something. I don't remember, but he is in his lab, and he tries to make with genetics and physics, and he tries to physically make 3 girls. It's three baby girls for him, to be his daughters, but he accidentally, as he's stirring in, all the ingredients and stuff, the thing he's stirring accidentally hits a container of something called Chemical X, which pours into the mixture, and they would have been normal girls, but everything exploded, and then they had superpowers, and that's basically what it is of them fighting crime and such. It's an all-out outstanding show, whether you're a guy or a girl. And going out to number 1, Ed, and Eddy. Anybody who's a Cartoon Network fan, or even likes cartoons at all, knows what I'm talking about with this show. Ed, and Eddy is my all-time favorite Cartoon Network show. And even though I love every single Cartoon Network show, I love Ed, and Eddy. I just love Ed, and Eddy. It's just such an amazing show. The last episode of Ed, and Eddy was, anyone who's actually seen it, is the Big Picture Show movie. And what basically happens is that Ed, and Eddy do a huge scheme, a really big scheme. They never tell you what it is, and I've always wondered what it was, but they do a huge scheme. They get everybody in the whole cul-de-sac angry at them, and they're just running. Then Eddy gets an idea to go to his big brother's house. He goes to his big brother's house so his big brother can defend them. And so he lives, like, they don't even know where he lives, but they're just running and running and running and running. And all the kids from the cul-de-sac are chasing after them, and they finally get there, and it turns out his brother's like the biggest jerk and starts beating the crap out of Eddy. And then all the kids from the cul-de-sac, they just start looking at the guy, and he's just like, what the hell, man? Then they start just like beating the crap out of him too. And then Ed and Eddy become, you know, part of the cul-de-sac. They're friends with everybody now. They could have continued the series, because if anybody watched after the end credits, it had Johnny talking to Plank, saying, we shall have our revenge, because, like, remember he used to have the Melon Head, the superhero guy. Turns out at the end he turned evil and wanted to have revenge on Ed and Eddy. And he goes, what? The movie's over? And so they couldn't really do it, but they could have easily put in a 6th season right there and filled in a lot of the blanks. Okay, and as for the people who have no idea what Ed and Eddy is, basically, all it is 3 boys. One of them, his name's Eddy. He loves scamming people out of their money. He's bald. He's short. He's semi-smart. Not in like book smarts, but he's more street smarts than anything. Then you have Double D, Ed with 2 D's. He's the book smart guy. He's incredibly smart, but he's pretty lacking in street smarts and strength. Then you have Ed, which is just with 1 D. He is incredibly stupid. Like, he's the most stupidest thing around. He'll randomly just start saying pancakes and waffles. But he's pretty strong. He can, like, lift up trees. He'll be able to tear trees from their roots and lift them up. But they're just trying to scam people out of their money in every episode, and it always usually ends up bad. They're trying to get money so they can buy Jawbreakers. And I think in like 1 episode I've seen them eat Jawbreakers. Like, they've actually succeeded in like 1 episode. It was like one of the old episodes. It was one of the older ones. But they actually succeeded, and they were just sitting there eating Jawbreakers. But then something at the end happens bad, and I just don't remember what happened. But yeah, guys, this was my top 5 Cartoon Network shows, and as I said, I love every single Cartoon Network show, no matter what. So, just this top 5 is just basically the ones that I like the best, story-wise and such, but there are some of the ones that were close to making the list, such as Samurai Jack, Life and Times of Juniper Lee, Johnny Bravo, you know, all those other good ones. That they just didn't make the list because I just preferred these ones better. I just did. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys later.